Hey guys, welcome back to another video on TRK Gaming, and I'm here to do a video on how to optimize your training while using the practice arena. Now, I got a question from, I believe the person was Duwowza or Duza SF FGC, right? In one of my previous videos, the individual asked how to use the training arena and record certain actions, and specifically mentioned that they were using a Hori fight stick. Now, I don't have a Hori fight stick, but I have some experience using a Level S, so they may have some similarities. So for this video, you can see on the bottom of the screen, I have my gamepad map, my PlayStation controller map. I'm going to translate as best as possible what are the alternative buttons that you should be pressing to do your recordings while using your Hori fight stick. And this is almost like a good refresher for persons who want to optimize the training arena and get good at this game, because Street Fighter 6 honestly has one of the best training arenas in fight games. And with that, I personally think that nobody should have an excuse not to improve, right? You should be improving with this training arena, how good it is. So first of all, in order to select, I'm playing for Ryu. I want to practice against Akuma. Let's just say I want to record a jumping attack. I'm not good at anti-airs, and I'm on the practice screen. In order to record this action, I need to know what is my R3 and L3 buttons. Now, for your Hori fight stick, they may have 6 auxiliary buttons on the top of your gamepad, and they will have a start button. They'll have like a L3 button equivalent and an R3 button equivalent. You need to find out which one of those auxiliary buttons are your R3 and L3 equivalent buttons. So in order to start, I need to know, so you could see I'm toggling back and forth my analog stick, my left analog stick. You could see that in the controller map, right? And this is my R3 analog stick, right? If I press my R3 like this, you can see on the top left hand corner there's this red rectangular box with a circle, and it looks like it's beeping, right? So you can see that. And it says record, REC for record slot 1 preparing. So it's preparing to record. So that means the next time I actually do press R3, it's going to be recording whatever Akuma is doing. Now I could move him around, but that doesn't mean that this is being recorded. It's just preparing to record. So the next time I press R3, so let's just say I want to practice against jumping heavy punch from Akuma, I press R3, and then I press R3 one more time to end the recording. So once again, let's do that, right? R3, so on your fight stick, whatever auxiliary button is your R3 equivalent, you press it, you get ready to do your recording. The next time I press it, my R3 button, I do the action that I want to practice against, which is a jumping heavy attack, and then I press R3 one more time to stop the recording. To replay this recording while I'm on the practice arena to practice my anti-airs, all I need to do is press L3. So I press L3, and he's going to do the jumping attacks, right? Right, so, and to stop this, all I need to do is press L3 one more time to stop the replay. So in case you're having trouble finding out what is your L3 and R3 equivalent buttons on your fight stick, you should at least know what is your start button, right? So if for some reason you're not finding those L3 and R3 equivalents, press start and it takes you to this screen. Now there are some categories on the top of the screen: parameter settings, screen display settings. To toggle among these various categories, I need to press my L1 and R1 buttons, right? So L1, R1, and you can see that on the control map. To move from one to the other, I'm pressing L1 and R1, and you could look at the bottom of the screen, my controller map. These are the buttons that I'm pressing to move. Now, your L1 and R1 buttons would most likely be your heavy punch and your drive impact button based on the button layout of a Hori fight stick. So this should be quite simple for you to find. So you toggle, and what I want to do is actually go into recording settings. So I found recording settings. Now under recording settings, there are some subcategories. There are two: record and replay. And to move from these two subcategories, all I need to do is press left and right, which would be pressing left and right on your joystick. Simple, right? But what I want to do is record. So I go to record, and there are 8 slots. And let's just say I want to go and record this jumping attack on slot 1. To record, to start recording, I need to press X on my PlayStation controller. Now X, the equivalent of X will be light kick on your Hori fight stick. So you press your light kick, and as soon as I press it, I need to start moving with the character or recording the action that I want to practice against, which would be the jump in heavy attack. So as soon as I press X, and then sorry, I did that kind of bad. All right. So as soon as I do the action, I want to press start one more time to end the recording. So once again, X, and I've ended the recording. And then from here, I could actually go on to record. Well, I want to practice against neutral jump attacks. So I go to slot 2, I press X, and I press start to end the recording. Now to replay these recordings, under recording settings, the two subcategories, there are record, replay. I need to go to replay. So under replay, you will see that both of these recordings, slot 1 and slot 2, are highlighted and switched on. Let's just say for some example, I want to practice one alone, right? I could just switch off the second one, and I want to practice against the jump in heavy punch, right? In order to switch it off, I need to press triangle on my PlayStation controller. Now triangle, the equivalent of triangle will be your medium punch on your Hori fight stick. So I press triangle, on, triangle, switch off, on, off. So for you, it'll be your medium punch, right? So I want to practice against this. Now, what's important is that I want the repeat replay option selected as on, or you could always say always repeat playback. But if I have off, that means he will just do it once. So if I start replay, he did it once and stopped. And he will not do the jumping attack another time. But I want to continuously practice against this. So let's just say I do that. He's always going to do it, right? And I could also put like repeat replay on, and he'll continuously do what is recorded under slot 1, right? Very simple. And if, for example, I want to practice against both of these options, like the jump in, heavy attack, and the neutral jumps, I want to practice against both of them, I could switch on both of them and have it as repeat, replay. Things are getting crazy here, so right, so that's what I want to do. I want to practice against people who neutral jump or jump forward on me. So something like that. But the most important thing is that repeat info display must be switched off. The reason being is that if it's switched on, I'm going to actually see what is being repeated on replay. So slot 2 I know is neutral jump, slot 1 is forward jump, slot 1 is... So I'm going to see what he's going to do before he does it. And that's kind of like, you know, cheating yourself. You don't want to be doing that, right? So you want to keep this switched off so that, especially if you want to practice your mental stack and training against different options, you know, you don't cheat yourself. So in case you're not able to find your L3 and R3 buttons, this is how you go about doing a recording and practicing against a particular recording, right? Very simple. Now, while we're on the topic of maximizing our potential, our training potential in the training arena, I wanted to take the opportunity to show you a couple other things that you can use. I won't go over the entire options because that will be like an hour-long video. So let's just go into reversal settings, right? So remember, I'm pressing L1 and R1. I want to practice against, let's just say Akuma does forward heavy punch and I don't know how to counter this. Let's just say for some strange reason I don't know. You could actually do this in two ways. Well, the first way is like how I did it traditionally. I just go here, press R3 and press R3 again and stop, and I could just press L3 and he's just going to continuously do this. And I need to find out, okay, what do I do against this? Probably that's something I should do. Or I could do something like, I don't think that combos. This combos, right? So that's just how you could do it while using the L3 and R3 buttons on screen. But here's a more efficient way for me. I like to go under dummy settings. So under dummy settings, I put the computer to block all. So under block, so there are dummy controls, dummy behavior. I leave it on crouch. I put him to block all. Now I go back to reversal settings, and from here I could actually put what I want to record. So before I go into reversal settings, I go back to recording settings, and I'm going to record him doing, well, this one, slot 1 is actually, I think this is now officially my forward heavy punch. No. Right, slot 2 is forward heavy punch. Right, so if I have forward heavy punch as slot 2, I go back to block reversal, and from here it takes me to another screen where I could press L1 R1 and go through a number of different options: normal moves, unique attack, special moves, super arts. I want to go into my recordings, so I go under record and I remember, okay, slot 2 is where I recorded my forward heavy punch. I'm going to press that because I don't think under common actions and unique moves, I don't think they have it as a unique move for Akuma, right? So you have to do this separately. right? So that's why I went into recordings and put it here. So now that I have this, what's going to happen is that if I press square under this option, under block reversal for reversal settings, so remember I'm under reversal settings now, block reversal, and I press square, which will be in your case your light punch button, it takes me to another screen where I see delay settings and count settings. Now on the count settings, this means that if I switch it to 1, that means if I hit Akuma once and he blocks once, that means he's going to respond with this forward heavy punch. So it would look something like this, right? So you see 1 hit, he responds. And now if I go back to this, press square again and change the count settings to 2, if I try to hit him once, he's not going to do the forward heavy punch. I need to hit him twice. So you see, right, so now he's going to do it. So this is good practice for somebody who's like, you're doing like a number of strings and you're trying to respond to somebody pressing a button. But we want to keep it to 1 for now, and you're going to practice how to deal with this button when somebody presses it in match. So let's just say you do this, so you could do your practice, right? Now what's going to happen is that you're going to get accustomed to the timing that the person is doing. So it will become like you're going to do it preemptively. You're going to do your punish preemptively. So let's just say I want to just make Akuma toggle back and forward and then do this and then do a toggle back and forward and just stop. I could actually practice now against these two options. So I don't know what he's going to do. The timing is going to change. So I have him do both of these. So, right, so you see now I don't know if he's going to come and do the heavy punch. So now I need to practice moving. So now the training has gotten a little more tougher, like how it would be in game, right? Right, so you guys get the picture, right? So what I'm trying to accomplish here in demonstrating, clearly I don't play for Ryu, so I'm gonna drop the combos, right? But that's basically how you could use the block reversal settings to practice against various options, training your mental stack. Now you could also do something with wake up options, right? So let's just say I go to wake up. This is something that I like to do and it's pretty good. Let's just say I go to block reversal and I don't need to go to block reversal. I could probably do keep the opponent to on block settings, on dummy settings. On the block, I'm going to switch him to block after first hit, right? Simple. So I'm going to do a combo that's going to give me really pretty decent Oki. And once I do that, under reversal settings, I want him to do a number of things. Let's just say I want him to neutral jump and do a punch, which is something that people, it's a common thing, right? So under my recording settings, I'm gonna put him to do on the slot 1 a neutral jump like that, and I'm gonna press start, stop it, and then the second recording is like a jump over and try to like cross me up, right? So something like that. And I have those two, and now I'm gonna go onto wake up reversal, and I'm gonna go into recordings under the slot 1 for wake up reversal under reversal settings. Remember, I'm under reversal settings, I press left, right, and I go to wake up reversal, slot 1, the neutral jump attack. On the slot 2, I want to put my cross up option, so he's going to try to jump over me. So when I do the combo and I finish and I get some good oki, I want to keep my pressure, but he's going to do two things, one of two things. He's going to just do a neutral jump or try to jump over me to get away from my pressure. So I'm going to practice trying to grab him. If I don't get the grab, right, he's going to neutral jump or jump over me, and I have to know whether to do a DP or do a crosscut DP, which is not easy, right? So guys, I'm not good at this, so it might look very horrible. So let's just see how it goes. But this is what you can do to practice and optimize your training while using the training arena. So let's just say I do this, right, and start it over again. I'm gonna do the combo. Clearly I don't play for this character. Neutral jump, right? So start it over again. Missed the combo for some strange reason. Missed my cross cut. So I told you guys, this is gonna look very ugly. Cross cut.
A few moments later.
So you guys get the point, right? That's how you could practice against two different options in the practice arena, especially using wake up options. So that is basically how you could optimize your training. Just a few tips on using the recording settings and practicing in the practice arena. Now, I don't want to make the video long, so I'll end it right there. I hope this helped you, because I try to use or describe what the alternatives would be on your Hori fight stick. So I'm hopeful that it helps. You can leave some comments if it was useful, and also if people want to know something additional, how to maximize your training on the training arena, or you have experience using a Hori fight stick and you may want to offer the proper instructions on how to do it, or which auxiliary buttons to use which are equivalent to your L3 and R3, you can feel free to let us know in the comments of the video. So guys, yet again, I'll end my video right there. Keep practicing, keep training, keep getting better at Street Fighter 6, and I will see you in the next video. Peace. Later.